Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Dice Tower Theater Presents After the Oath, where we explore the characters and players behind Dawn of Dragons. Just a reminder, you can watch the unedited video of this recording and support our community by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Goodham Productions. In this episode, I'm here with actor Cody Miller, who played and voiced Zorin, the swashbuckler, one of the first characters. What made you want to play a tabletop RPG?
So you really, let's start there. So I'd become friends with you, and you talked about D&D and doing this, and a couple of other folks like Brian had mentioned it, and it's a whole lot of fun and that kind of thing. I was like, well, it seems kind of up my alley. It's like a game, and there's an element of gambling to it because you're rolling dice, and who knows what'll happen on the back end of it. And then there's also the acting portion, the role play portion. So it's like, boy, both of those things kind of fit well into things that I like. So I was like, I can give this a shot. I mean, the worst that's going to happen is that I won't like it, and I'll go, hey man, thanks. I'm gonna beg out, this has been fun, but we'll just, bond over love of whiskey or something, something like that.
True.
And so, but it was freaking cool. Like I loved everything about it. The storytelling and the fact that there is chance on the things that you do, just like life. Like I'm going to take a risk. I might need to really do something really cool in order to make it work out, but it worked. It worked. So, and one thing that's rarely said, but the DM that you have determines how much fun you have at the game, and you were always an excellent DM.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It's just,
so what inspired you to choose Zorin as a character?
So the genesis of the name, that was because I had just gotten done watching A View to a Kill. It was a great movie, and the Christopher Walken's character in that was Max Zorin.
Oh,
and I was like, Zorin, that's kind of a cool name. Yeah, but he had the blimp, and yeah. But anyway, that was the genesis of the name. And you asked me, come up with a character, and I was like, dude, I've never done this before. I don't know what to like. There's paladins and fighters and all this stuff. I don't know. And so I remember going, what does the party need? And you were like, well, we don't have a rogue. I was like, cool. Well, what's a rogue do? He's like, he sneaks around, stays in the shadows, comes out and ganks somebody when, he can, or takes long range shots with a bow and that kind of thing. I'm like, sneaky. All right, I could do that. So really, that's how I came to play a rogue named Zorin, was because it was what the party needed. And I just finished watching A View to a Kill.
That's right. So with Zorin, what I remember was we had just gotten, our first game was the birthday game of just the carnival or the games.
Yes, right? your birthday game. Yes.
Yeah.
Which ended up being the festival in Bells.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right? Yep. It ended up becoming that. So, yeah, that was the first game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that was our first one. You played Zorin there.
Yeah.
And Brian DM'd that.
Yes.
And then
because it was your birthday.
That's right. Yeah.
And you wanted to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense.
And after that, or actually, yeah, that's right. It was a separate game. Because we had started playing Ravenloft in February.
Yes.
And then
I wasn't part of that group, but yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, yeah, that was Josanne when you played the cleric.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, shoot. I'd forgotten about that game. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we that'll come up in. I have not interviewed Jolene yet, but when we get to talk to Jolene about the fact that I made her one of the most tragic NPCs of the D&D world as her first game
for her first time out. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and you're going to be this character. You don't know who she is.
She is. Oh.
It'll make it all the more fun.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah. So yeah, we did that. We played for a year, and then we brought Zorin back, and that's when we said, we're going to chop the stats in half. You're now a kid, and we kind of rolled from there. So yeah. So what characteristics of Zorin do you relate with the most?
So it doesn't come out very much, but Zorin is a bit of a degenerate gambler. There's a couple of times where, and I haven't played into that as much at the table with him because it's a very one-sided thing. Like the rest, then there's a table full of people going, great, he's rolling the dice again. Who cares? Yay, he wins. That it's just not, it's not fun for anybody else at the table, but it has come up a couple of times in game. And I wouldn't say I'm that bad, but I do like playing cards. I do like rolling dice. I enjoy a bit of gambling. So that's part of it. I've always tried to play Zorin both at the table and hopefully in the show as much of a regular dude as I can. Like he's had a bad home life.
True.
He's had a terrible home life. So he's built his family with his friends and doesn't know what life has in store for him. So he's trying to figure it out as he goes. And that seems like to me, that always seemed like a pretty blue collar kind of ethic, of like, I don't know what life is going to turn out like, but I got to make the best of it with what I got. And I'm going to try my hardest to do that, but trying to figure it out as you go. So the regular dude aspect and, hapless, sometimes like things are happening around me. What kind of thing?
Zorin is one of the most relatable characters in the story.
I hope so.
I mean, that's like, I really get a feeling as we went through, not only the game, but when we wrote it and went back and put that all together, you can see the world through his eyes, the easiest, right?
Yeah.
You're able to step into his shoes and kind of get a feel for Zorin.
And I like the fact that through most of the game, like he was just a guy. He wasn't a magic user. Like everything that he did was because he was good at what he did.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
He was good at hiding. He was good at jumping around and, doing these different things. And he was good at working the rigging on a boat. It was these things that he was amidst this group of people who could do these amazing mystical things. Like, let's talk about Cordelia. My God, the different spells and things that she could do and conjuring things out of thin air and all of this stuff. And here's Zorin just like, I'm going to hide, but he's good at it. And yeah, exactly. There were so many times at the table, it was like, what are you going to do? I'm going to hide. Okay.
that worked. I'm going to find advantage.
Yep. That's it. So, but he was a human doing human things in a very magical world.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So were there any characters you feel you connected with more than others?
Yes. So, Cordelia, the little sister, feeling of interacting with Jolene's character with Cordelia was always very prevalent. With really all of the kids, Benedict and Zane especially. Later on, Vash,
Mm-hmm.
and antagonistically with Vix. Like,
True.
that relationship is just I love everything about that, and the way Daniel plays him is superb. So those characters probably the most. But I mean, my God, how do you pick a favorite out of all of your kids? You know, because like every character in that, even down to the ones that like Zorin didn't really interact with much,
Mm-hmm.
like Lorhana,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, like, my gosh, just love all of them. Like there isn't a character that I could go, I could do without them.
When we play through the game, the game is through the lens of the character, right? So
Right.
so you're seeing the world through Zorin's eyes, and then what tidbits I'm trying to get back to the table of your senses.
Right.
But it is just you looking out. And then when we get into the audio drama, we're able to take a different step where we can show the world a little bit broader from multiple perspectives and kind of dive into it a little bit. And we have that aspect.
Yeah.
And what's been fun is then having a third step when I've been writing the books, jumping between the good and the bad guys and other sub characters and what have you. When you mentioned Laura Hanna, I mean her story at the table was very brief,
Yes.
but with the book she's really taken on a new character and a new life, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, and even though like at the table, like the whole backstory of Lorhana and Erebus and all of that was like you've done a fantastic job of delving into that in the audio drama. So it's really fleshing that out and making that. But even at the table, even though it was just like, these are the things that happened, and, we maybe covered them briefly in different parts of sessions, it's impressive how that like permeated everything. Even though it wasn't gone into in as much detail at the table that it has in the audio drama and the books, it was there as a running through line through everything, which was impressive, which is why I mentioned Lorhana and Erebus as being some of my favorite characters even before the audio drama, because like it's good story, that's rich.
It came out with all of us, right? It all came out on the table. So who is your least favorite person in the world? This world. not the real world.
Oh, I was like, wow. Are we talking as me personally or Zorin?
Let's take both.
So it's slightly different, but I think for Zorin, it's got to be Dad, right?
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
It's got to be Lord Palace. There's no greater foe for Zorin at any given point in time throughout the entire story than like everything is prelude to him biding his time.
Yes, absolutely.
So for Zorin, it's got to be Dad. For me personally, I love the character, but I hate the character. I love to hate the character, and it's Dekion.
Yeah, Dekion's a jerk.
Oh my God! Like, and we always say I'm going to bring wrestling into this, because we've watched a fair amount of professional wrestling.
Yes, we have. Yep.
And every time, and I've watched also with my wife, and there are some characters that come on that are the heels, and she'll be like, I hate that guy. God, I hate that guy. And I'm like, that means that he's doing his job well. And I feel the same way about Dekion. It's like, you hate him so much because he's doing his job well.
He's a jerk.
He absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But voiced beautifully by Matt.
Well, absolutely right. Now, I mean, Matt, the man of 1,000 voices.
Right.
I'm actually recording him tonight, for season 7. And, we had recorded you, Vix, and Vash last week. And it was phenomenal. If anybody wants to see a sneak preview, you can go follow Daniel Nichols on Instagram or Facebook. But he has actually, he had recorded his side of the conversation for like a minute or two. So you don't hear anybody else talking. It's just Vix. But it's pretty funny.
Nice.
But yeah, good gold stuff. So tonight, speaking of, with Bianchi, so I'm recording Bianchi, and he and I were joking because I'm like, okay, I want you to show up, 45 minutes early so we can go through the other 4 characters that you have for this season.
Right.
That I don't need to get everybody else in on, I need you for all this.
It's amazing the voices that he can do. Like, it's genuinely impressive.
Yeah. He's absolutely fantastic. Were there any moments you remember the most?
The one that's always going to stand out for me is the game where we did the all-day game at the Celestine Tower.
Oh, yep.
Just because the scale of that was incredible. So, I mean, you built a 4-foot tall Celestine Tower. And we had to move our characters that were this big.
It was a 1/4 inch that they fit into, a 1/4 inch square. So 16 could fit into a 1-inch square on that system that we built.
Up the tower to get to different spots. There was a whole battle, the whole armies against each other going on, that people were, that was happening. There was I think in the game, wasn't it a ballista that took out the dragon?
Yeah, it was a ballista in the game.
Yeah, and it ended up becoming a trebuchet.
It became a trebuchet, yeah.
In the drama.
Oh no, wait. It was we had ballista and trebuchet, and that's why there was such a dust up about the trebuchet, because it was. Do you know how slow a trebuchet is to launch? It couldn't hit a dragon out of the air, right?
So, right, yeah. And that's one of the things that I'll always remember, is that made it into the audio drama of that whole fight between everybody about that's impossible, because that fight happened in the game.
It did. Absolutely did. And it got so heavy, I walked out of the room.
Yeah.
I was doing something, and then you came up to me, and you're like, fun is not being had.
Well, and this, I think that moment also showed like the different levels that your mind was working at the same time. Because when I came up, I'm like, fun is not being had. They're arguing over this. And he's like, that's great. They're running out their time that they have to act as the evil army.
That's right.
Because they're fighting over this stupid thing. So you guys are actually have a better chance of winning this battle, because they're arguing over what's possible and what's not. even though it was rolled, it happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it's done. but they're still arguing over the physics of it.
Yeah, and the timer was going.
And the timer was going. Like that was
were
part
20
of the
minutes.
thing. We had so much to get through that you're like, once the timer starts, it doesn't stop. And you've got this time to do your thing. And they were arguing over the logistics of it. And so, yeah, fun's not being had. It's good for you. Oh, you're right. Cool. Let them fight.
It's
and
true.
They did. They ran that down until they had like a minute and a half left to make a decision.
Yeah.
When finally, I think you came back and you're like, hey, you got a minute and a half. And they went, So that'll always stick out. I mean, again, it's like picking your favorite child, because there's so many great moments.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
Yes.
In it together. We made it a point to not get stale. I was asked at a con recently, how did you run the game for over a decade,
Mm-hmm.
and still keep people. How we all were so open to just changing rules, not like willy nilly, but like at the beginning of a game, I'd come in saying, "Okay, for tonight, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do this, and here's the game mechanic around it," and just kind of change things up. And there was, oh, cool. So the willingness of the table was 99% of it. The inventiveness of the table kept things lively, but I think really the willingness to go with it was what everybody should congratulate themselves for.
Well,
it is rare.
And I think it's important too that, like, it's a D&D game, but you incorporated all kinds of different mechanics at different point in time. Like, I think was it some of the seafaring stuff we did, the Sails of Glory?
Yeah, Sails of Glory, and Sails of Glory, and the
Heart of Oak, wasn't it? The other one?
Heart of Oak. Yep.
Yeah.
Sea Battle Minis game. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there were whole sailing portions that we did using both of those systems. It wasn't just, roll a 20, see if you try to catch up. It was, no, you've got to plot your course, and here's the windage, and, that kind of thing. So it was way more immersive with that. And and there were times that it was like, we're doing time-based, and here's what you have to do. And, you don't necessarily have to make rolls. Like, I think it's important that some things you're not sticking, you're not being a rules lawyer with everything. It's like, sometimes in order to keep things engaging, to keep it fun, you've got to kind of expand a little bit and drop some of those things out, because ultimately you're all there around the table with the same goal of having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's the secret of why everybody stuck around for a decade, is because we were having a good time. I mean, it was a good story. We were invested in it, but we were having fun with it at the same time. I mean, if it stopped being fun, we wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Which, again, a whole bunch of credit to you as the DM for keeping that fun.
Oh, well, thanks, dude. All right.
You're welcome.
So that being said, now I'm going to flip the script a little bit, and we're going to toss this on you.
Oh.
So you're a well-versed and seasoned actor. What roles do you like to play?
Oh, when I'm acting?
When you're acting. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
So I did a whole lot of, I've done a bunch of different stuff. The most fun I ever had probably was when we were doing Avastrom, and was the villain. I'd never played a villain before. Like, I was always the guy kind of fighting against the villain, and that was the first time I really got to lean into the villain. Oh, that was fun.
You were scary.
That was so freeing. It was so freeing because it was there. When your character is not restricted by morals, as an actor, that was a lot of fun to do. I like any kind of role where I feel like I can really kind of sink teeth into it, like where it's not just, walk on, say the line.
Yeah.
Dude, I like where you have time to build into it what makes that character tick, and what's important to that character, and have the audience know that. Mm-hmm. The other character that I played in Avastrom, Alator, that's probably been some of my most rewarding moments in theater, is playing that character and really getting to the core of what made him tick over time. Like, it was years of building a lot of that. And when it landed, it was great. It was the best.
Are there any roles you would never take on again?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it. What is it?
Yeah. Oh my God. So I was in a one act in college.
Okay.
If I could go back in time and tell, tell younger me, you don't have to do this show. It's fine. Sit this one out. It's good. Director was a friend of mine. He cast me in the thing. It was a big group audition for the one acts, and he cast me in this because it was a friend of mine who'd worked together before, had a great time. And it was this one act called Titanic, and I think it was a Christopher Durang one. Very surrealistic, also very overtly sexual in that sometimes. Like I was the captain and would run around with a on my head. It was
You never told me this.
Oh, I never told you the story?
No,
oh my God. Yeah, this was a one act. And like the one lady was hiding hamsters. It was
this?
Right. It was the weirdest show.
This was in Greeley?
What? Yeah, this is
Greeley, Colorado.
This was in Greeley, Colorado. Which at one point I looked at the director. I was like, we're going to get shot. The people who come to this, like, this is a farming community. Like, what are you doing? And I mean, all credit to everybody in that cast, because we were all like, this is the weirdest and sometimes stupidest stuff we've ever done. So the only way this is going to work is if we go all in. Here we go. And we did, like, we committed to it. But my God, like it was Tech Week. It was the week before we opened, and we got the show up and, went through our Tech Week rehearsal, and I'm there with the director after rehearsal. I'm like, so what'd you think? And he's like, you guys were great. I probably shouldn't have done this show. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't have. No, I agree. My mother came to that show.
Oh no. Oh no. I can see your mom. Oh, your poor mom.
And I told her, I was like, well, I'm in this show. And she's like, okay, tell me when and I'll be there. I'm like, you don't have to. I'm like, you don't really, you can miss this one. And she's like, no, I got to be there to support you. And I'm like, I feel your support. It doesn't have to be by coming to the show. It's fine. And I was like, you're not going to like it. She's like, no, I'll be there. I don't care if I'm not going to like it. She's like, I'll bring your grandmother. I'm like, you will absolutely not bring my grandmother. You will leave her home. And if you have to come, okay. But do not bring my grandmother to this. No. She did not, but she came. And afterward, I met her outside the theater and was like, so what do you think? And she was like, that was interesting. That was about it. That was about it.
Oh my goodness. That is
so
wild.
That role, I would never do that again. And I would say to any actor that even if you're like, oh my God, I just want to be cast in something, you don't have to do it. Like if you start it and you're like, my God, this is bad. It's okay. You can exit stage left.
Yeah, not everything's a fit, right? I mean,
no.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I had the opportunity that I turned down to do that film where I was going to play the Boston Strangler. Yeah, I morally couldn't do that.
Yeah,
right. I was like, I
don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I have no problem playing wicked baddies and all that stuff. That. I'll be wicked and evil and all that stuff. There's an element of super violence that I don't want to be associated with.
Right. I mean,
Nope.
we've talked for a long time that, movies and media and stuff like that involves violence towards children.
Mm-hmm.
Like ever since we've had kids, like we've never really sat well with us anyway, but especially ever since we've had kids, we're like, nope.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some things that just strike different especially when you're storytelling, right?
And I won't be creating media or be part of creating media for that purpose.
Absolutely. But we've mentioned before, you're not much of a horror person.
No.
At all.
No.
And that's okay. And you and I have been best friends for nigh on 2 decades, and it's just we know that about each other. Like,
yeah,
I like horror, you don't.
Right. Exactly.
And that's okay. How would you say you grew since you started on this journey with us? Did Zorin teach you anything about yourself?
There's a lot of myself in Zorin. So I feel like I can't exactly point to specific things, like of going, oh yes, there's this point in gameplay where this thing happened and it taught me about this. I can't really point to specific things like that, but I feel like there's me in everything that I do. Like, I'm not like the method guy, who's like an outside in kind of person, of the outside in style of acting where, I have to immerse myself in this thing. Like some of the Jared Leto stuff, that's just psychosis. That's not really method acting.
Yeah.
Method acting gets bad rap because of goofs like that. But I'm not that way of like, I have to immerse myself in a thing in order for me to feel it. Like every character I portray is me in some way or another, which I think is why it's so much fun to play villains, because I don't indulge that part of myself. It's in there. I think it's in everybody, but I don't indulge that part of myself because that's not who I am. So sometimes, so to be able to let those out in a creative construct is nice. But I think because of that, like my growth and Zoran's growth are intermeshed. Like since we started the game, I've gone from being a new father to a father of a teenager. And there's all kinds of lessons that happen through that, and all kinds of things that has taught me a bunch about patience. Yeah. And picking battles and things like that. And so there's certain things that I think would have bothered early Zorin that don't bother late Zorin, because I have more patience now at times. Not perfect in that regard. But I have more patience now, and I have more insight into things, and there are some things that don't bother me now that used to bother me a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think those things in me inform Zorin as much as the things Zorin experiences at the table inform me.
Yeah.
And hopefully that wasn't just one big circular but
no, what you said makes sense, right? Zorin was on a journey over 10 years. You were on a journey over 10 years.
Yeah.
Many of the things that we ran into in the fictional world were things that we needed to address about ourselves.
Yeah.
We kind of just manifested at the table, right?
Yeah.
Had to deal with our struggles with depression and loneliness and all the other things, that many of us, it's life.
Yeah.
And life is a beautiful thing, and it can be a mean thing too.
Oh yeah. It's wonderfully messy. I described fatherhood once. I think it applies to life, but I described fatherhood once as the most awful, wonderful thing that's ever happened to me. And in a lot of ways, that kind of sums up life. It's awful and beautiful. all at the same time sometimes. And that's the really weird part, is that you can find beauty in terribleness, but you can sometimes. So life is awesome.
Yeah.
In the actual sense of the word.
It is. It could be good, could be bad. You don't know, but it's amazing.
Yes.
What we all do and how we all got here. And, it's all one big chance mistake that we're all here, throughout time or whatever your beliefs are.
Right.
But even then, we found ourselves in this small snippet of time in this giant timeline of existence.
Mm-hmm.
And we're finding ourselves here together in that moment. And that all in itself is a pretty amazing thing. So, yeah. So what are you planning to do next? I know you're taking a bit of a hiatus from some projects and what have you.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next, to be honest, because with the Avistrom thing that I mentioned, I retired from that last year after being involved with that for 18 years. Yes, after being involved with that for 18 years and heavily involved for most of that time, both acting and behind the scenes, and putting up that show. There was a lot involved with that. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because do I want to just take time, and not have an iron in the fire, right? I gotta figure out what's going to make me happy, if that makes sense. Like I gotta figure out if I need to have an iron in the fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also part of me that's like, if you don't have an iron in the fire, you might as well just kind of right off into the, white socks and sandals and, lay on the beach kind of retirement community kind of thing. And I'm trying to figure that out. I'm at least going to take some time for a bit to just kind of be, and then figure out what's gonna work. I don't know. Part of me wants to try to get back into doing stuff on stage, but at the same time, like, I know what a time commitment that can be, and I don't know if I want to take that time away from the family. So we'll see. I'm kind of up in the air.
Yeah, well, again, life's a journey, right? We'll have to see how it all floats.
There's no wrong answer and there's no right answer.
No, there isn't. There isn't. So where can our listeners find more of your work, or follow you, or see what you're going to do next? If they're wondering what the next chapter of Cody Miller is, they're going to see a picture of you on Instagram sitting on the beach in your sandals.
In my sandals and white socks. Well, for some of the acting stuff that I've done, there's the Avistrom YouTube. I suggest personally World on a String. That's my villain turn. And in there, you'll also see Brian, who is Benedict, in that role, is in his role from Avistrom as well. I wrote and directed that as well, and edited it. And it's one of probably my favorite film achievements that I've ever done. So that's on the Avistrom YouTube channel, which I think you just search for Avistrom Academy of Sorcery on YouTube.
Yep. I'll make sure there's a link in the notes here.
Fantastic. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on there, and things that involve myself and you. So that's where to see some of my acting. Gosh, as far as what's next, I would say probably pay attention to the good ham stuff, because if there's anywhere I'm going to be, it's probably going to be doing something with good ham. So
drag you more and more ham.
Just every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
I drag you back in. In fact, as our listeners may or may not know, many of us take on different ham-based personalities.
Correct.
And I think we finally found what yours is, Cody.
Oh no.
Red eye gravy.
Okay.
There you go, red eye gravy.
I like it. That is one of my favorite food groups. Gravy.
Agreed. And to be fair, red eye gravy, it's not horrible, but it is like at the bottom of the gravy pyramid because it is. That's when you're hard up. When you're like, I'm going to fry a ham steak.
Yep.
And the only thing in that is fond and coffee, and you just reduce it. It's like, wow.
Yep.
But yeah.
So wait a minute. You're saying I'm at the bottom of the
I'm saying
pyramid.
I'm saying you're able to make something that normally people would throw away into something that's awesome.
Again, I don't know quite how to take that because you're like, it's awesome, but to anybody else, it's trash.
It was trash.
What? Thanks. I think. No, I'm kidding.
Appreciate
I'm kidding. I like that. I mean, red eye. Okay, so here's a question back at you: brown or white gravy?
As far as like what's preferable?
Yes.
Oh, so I'm a unique individual, as you know. So with my mom coming from upstate New York and my dad coming from Texas, it was a crapshoot which way we So I love open face sandwiches covered in brown gravy.
Yeah.
I love pretty much anything covered in sausage gravy.
Sausage gravy, yes. Yeah.
That was the close second in my in things to cut back. That was hard. Was the gravy.
Was gravy. Yeah.
Yeah, getting used to, okay, I'll portion it.
I'll have a little bit of gravy.
Come on,
as opposed to drowning it in gravy.
Don't be so judgy of cholesterol. You don't know what it means. Mr. Science Doctor person. I'm kidding.
Is that right? What do you know with your 8 years of medical school?
Absolutely. What did you learn?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll trust my doctors.
Yeah.
So
doggone it.
Yeah, they haven't steered me bad yet. So
yeah, I mean, medical science is important because I'm on blood thinners now. So
yeah,
I'm on blood thinners. You're on stuff. That's something that's changed over the 10 years.
That's right. Well, we had to learn again how to cope with life.
Yes.
And how things progress and bodies change.
Awful and wonderful.
Exactly. Awful and wonderful. You look back and it's like, there's a phrase that was said, on that, there's a phrase that was said to me once, and it always resonates, but I need to remember not to beat myself up over the things I did to survive.
Yes.
And, that's a key thing to say when you're trying to forgive yourself for things and move on and realize, well, you're still here on this mortal coil, and you need to figure out how to reintegrate with society, push back the problems that you had, address them. You don't just get up and walk away from it. You have to address it.
Yeah.
But in the healing process, realize you can't just keep beating yourself up. At some point you have to just say, I did this to survive. Right. At that time, it's what my choice was. So
right. Yeah. And the choice was made. Like nothing that you do or say now can go back and remake that choice that you made.
Yes.
So if the choice wasn't good, and now you can go, that was a terrible choice. The only thing you can do is vow never to make that choice again.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, on that note,
yes,
I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Would you like to say goodbye too, Cody?
Make the right choices, kids.
There you go.
And if you the wrong ones, learn from it. No, what I will say to all the folks that may be listening out there, thank you so much Like seriously, it's amazing the following that this has garnered. Like I couldn't have imagined when we started this game 10 years or more ago that I'd be getting interviewed about my character that I named from a Bond movie. Like it's absolutely incredible that the life that this has taken on, and it's because of all of you folks that are out there enjoying this and wanting more of it. So thank you to you for doing that and showing your support behind this, because I'm tickled to death that we get to do this for you.
To the listeners out there that have given us so much support, I will also add to that and say, you haven't heard the last of Cody Miller. I guarantee it.
As much as you might want to.
As much as you might want to, and that he might be trying to escape. I will show up at his house.
He knows where I live.
I do, with my little Tascam DR40, and I will just like ring the doorbell, and I'll pose as like the milkman. You know,
say something
from like Royal Crest. Yeah, you'll answer the door like, "Hey," speaking to the microphone. All right. I have to drag him into all my crazy adventures. He knows that. So
I love it.
Well, until next time, everybody, stay safe and remember the oath.